doesn't.
And so I had learned how to dress neatly. I'd become a perfect fake human. No one suspected what crouched behind my perfect imitation smile. Here I was on the side of truth, justice, and the American way. Still a monster, of course, but I cleaned up nicely afterward, dressed in red, white, and blue, 100% synthetic virtue.
Look at my horse is amazing, give it a lick.
It's just like raisin.
Of a stroke of its mane, it turns into a plane, and then it turns back again when you tug on its wing.
That's
15 seconds on the clock. Name something you sit in.
A chair.
My own feces. Name a popular fruit.
Orange.
Clay Aiken. Something in your closet.
Shoes.
Scary monsters. Your favorite holiday.
Christmas.
9/11. Something you do on the weekends.
Go to church.
Black guys. All right.
This is crazy.
I know. You know what's crazy? A grown woman peeing in her sink. That's crazy.
I don't pee in my sink.
It's you. Stop peeing in your sink.
That's not me. I don't pee in the sink. That's ridiculous.
I know, it is.
What else could it be?
Maybe rinsing out your vagina in the sink?
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
KDK's Lunatic Fringe.
All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure in the amazing year 400 billion.
The following program is rated TVMALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. It's me, KDK, back after a long hiatus. Not really. I was on last week. I don't remember anything that happened last week. What happened last week? Somebody fill me in. All I remember is that I woke up at like 3 in the morning on the floor. That's my memory of last week's show. Tell me your memory. Anyway, I'm here tonight, and believe it or not, I'm sober tonight. Yes. And I still feel out of sorts. And I probably shouldn't talk about this on the air because it's embarrassing, but far be it from me not to admit all my embarrassing faults on the air like I always do. Very shortly before the program, maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, yeah, probably more like 15 minutes ago, I was saying to myself, I feel like shit. I feel like fat and bloated because I've been drinking lemonade and iced tea all day, and I had a couple slices of pizza, and it just felt like the pizza was like floating at the top of my belly, and I just felt like bloated, and I was like, I would feel so much better if I could puke right now. And don't get worried because I'm not bulimic. Don't very often do this. But I said to myself, I would feel a hell of a lot better if I could vomit right now. Didn't have to, but I wanted to. So I went into the bathroom. And I've always had this uncanny ability to spontaneously vomit. I don't have to stick my fingers down my throat. I can sort of squeeze my stomach muscles and just force it out of me. So, I'm there, I lift the toilet seat, and my head is above the bowl, and I vomit once, and it's pretty much just like iced tea and lemonade. No food came out yet. And then I vomit twice, and again, it was a little clumpy, but mostly runny. And then the third time, that's when all the food came up. That's when the pizza came back, and the pizza came out. And I'm sitting there, leaning over the bowl after that third vomit. and bang, like the toilet seat like falls and hits me in the head on the way down. And I continue like retching, like dry heaving, recovering from that third vomit, and I could feel something dripping down my face. So I put my hands to my face, and I pulled them away, and my fingers are covered in blood. And again, I don't know if I've ever admitted this on the air before, and it seems weird coming from somebody like me who's seen like every disgusting, gory horror movie ever made, but I have this weird thing about me, but the sight of real blood causes me to spontaneously faint. So I saw the blood on my fingers and I went out for a couple seconds. Luckily I was already down on the ground, otherwise I might have banged my head on something on the way down, but luckily I was already sitting in front of the bowl. Came to, probably like a half a minute later, and bracing myself, I look in the mirror, and my face is like streaming covered in blood, because apparently when the toilet seat came down, it like nicked my forehead on the way down. Just not very bad, but facial cuts always bleed like ridiculously crazy. Any man out there who's ever nicked themselves shaving knows that, you know, that face cuts bleed like crazy. So there's blood all over my face. At this point, there's also blood all over the toilet seat, on the ground, and I'm trying to clean it up. I'm like, I have to be on the air in like 10 minutes. Hoping I'm not going to pass out again. So now here I am doing the show with like pieces of toilet paper on my forehead, as though I just nicked myself shaving. Pieces of toilet paper, like trying to stop the flow of blood from this tiny little cut that I got on my forehead when the toilet seat came crashing down into my head. So there you go. There's my embarrassing story for the night. Would seem a whole lot more appropriate if I were like drunk right now, but there you go. That's me. Embarrassing things happen even when I'm sober. Well. I'm here. I'm KDK. I'm going to be with you for the next couple hours or so. If you have any names, numbers, or ideas, people whom you would like me to prank call tonight, by all means, you can contact me on the AIM, on the AIM, as KDK Pranks. You can send me any manner of name, number, or idea that you have, and I'll see what I can do, because it's been a very long time since I've done live prank calls, but it's sort of like learning to ride a bike. You never really forget how, you know? I might be a little rusty, but I'll fall back into it pretty quick. Anyway. If you have names, numbers, and ideas, get them coming to me quick. I'm only going to be here probably until around midnight. And after that, I'll probably just go lay down, like rest my weary head. Oh, I would check my forehead, but I'm afraid, like, if I bleed on the air and I see the blood, then I'm gonna, like, pass out on the air. That's really weird, isn't it? I don't know. I wish there was something I could do to prevent that, but that's just part of what makes me me, I guess. I can't stand the sight of blood. So what did happen last week? You guys were probably here last week. What happened last week? Did I ever make it on the air? I woke up and the stream was still going, and the last thing that I had played was a song that I typically use to end the show. So did I do a full-on show and don't remember it? I don't know. Were you guys here for the debacle that happened last week? Or the week before, or the week before, or the week before? Pretty bad. Last Saturday night, I woke up at 3 a.m., literally on the floor, right in front of the couch. Like, I could have laid on the couch, but apparently I didn't make it there, or maybe I rolled off the couch, because I woke up literally on the floor. I'm not proud of that. But fuck it. KDK, you made it, then you bailed. I made it, and then I bailed. I bailed 10 minutes into the show. Well, I'm sorry for that. Well, I'm here now. Just be happy that I'm sober tonight. You know what happened last week? I was probably like, last week I started drinking like very shortly before the show, and it didn't really hit me until I started doing the show. And then it started to hit me. And then as I'm feeling drunker and drunker and drunker on there. I'm like, I better leave now, otherwise this is all going to go wrong. This is all going to go horribly wrong, so I may as well bail right now. Last week you came on and talked for 5 minutes, played a song, and fuck off. Oh, did I say fuck off? I'm sorry. Did I tell you guys to fuck off? Oh, well. I get that way sometimes, especially when I drink. Jackie Martling corroborates that apparently last week I told you guys to go fuck yourselves. I'm sorry about that. You guys ought to know never to take anything seriously when I've been drinking. And it should be pretty obvious at this point when I am drinking. You can tell I'm sober now, but it's pretty obvious when I'm drinking because I can always tell. I go back and listen to recordings, I was like, wow, I was tanked. Well, I'm not one of those people that can, like, appear sober when I've been drinking. I just don't have that quality or ability or skill. And I apologize again. If it makes you feel better, you can tell me to go fuck myself in the chat room if you want. If it makes you feel better. I'm sorry I did that. I get that way sometimes. When I drink, I have, like, two options. I either get, like, sad and weepy and wind up crying on the air, or I get, like, angry and belligerent, which can sometimes work out well for prank calls. When I call people and I'm all angry and belligerent at them. But I don't mean to take it out on you. My bad. I'm sorry. Not really, but there you go. I'll say so if it makes you feel better. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've been coherent on the air here. It's been probably several months since I've been coherent on the air here. And I was going to go out and get booze earlier tonight, but well, to be honest with you, I was too drunk to drive. I was going to go out and get more booze, but it was around like 7 o'clock, and I went to go stand up and go grab my car keys, and fell into a wall, and I said, okay, I can't drive now. I'm very good about not drunk driving. So I said, fuck it, it'll be a sober night. So there you go. Tonight's program is brought to us by Municipal Tap Water. That's what I'm drinking tonight, just plain old fucking tap water. Because that's all I have to drink in the house, except for hot chocolate. And I'm too lazy to go put hot water in the coffee pot and make some hot water. So how was everyone's holidays? Mine were splendiferous, wonderful, wondrous, magnificent. Actually, no, they were kind of like stupid and boring. We have a bigger problem that you ended the show not telling us to go fuck ourselves. Okay, there you go. Maybe that's how I end the show from now on. Instead of saying stay beautiful, I'll say go fuck yourself. There you go. If that's what you want, if that makes you feel better, that's what I'll do, I guess. Well, I do appreciate the fact that you guys do come here every week, even though I'm usually too tanked to even do a show. But there you go. Hungover but sober. That's me tonight. Hungover but sober. So, my holidays were quite boring. My sister didn't even try to call. I haven't answered my sister's or returned my sister's calls in maybe about a year. But this year she didn't even call and bother leaving a message like inviting me over her house, and there was really no point in her doing that because I wouldn't have gone anyway. Because my sister can go fuck herself, and I do mean it when I say it about her. She can go fuck herself. But my cousin Tracy did call me up and invited me over, and I haven't been over at my cousin Tracy's house in, like 5 or 6 years. It's been a long time since I was there. She lives in White Plains, New York, probably only about an hour away. But my holidays, I'm sure it's no surprise to anyone that I am a loner. I like to be alone. I like to spend time by myself. Not that I have to, because I don't have any friends, but that's what I like. I've always been that way, since I was a little kid, that, you know, there are times where you like to hang out with people, and then there's other times where you like to be alone. And most of the time, I like to be alone. And my holidays, I like to be alone. I don't want to have to drive over somebody's house. I don't want to have to buy people I don't care about gifts. But this year, I guess I had to, so. I asked my cousin, what do the kids want for Christmas? And she says, they would like an Xbox. And I was like, wow, that's very forward of you to ask for something so expensive. I was like, okay, fuck it. So I bought them an Xbox, and I brought it over and played the stupid Xbox games with the stupid Kinect gimmick. It's kind of like the Wii without having to hold that little dildo in your hand. Or the PlayStation Move. But it was cool, I guess. I was very impressed at the intelligence of Tracy's children, because one is 2 and the other is 12, and the 12-year-old is like normal, like you would expect, and the 2-year-old was remarkably smart, because my experience in dealing with 2-year-olds is very limited, because I dated a girl once who had like a 2-year-old daughter, and her daughter must have been retarded, because she couldn't speak, she could barely walk. She would try to talk to me, and it would be like blah, 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 blah. And Stacy would translate and say, oh, no, she just said this. And I was like, bullshit, you're just making shit up. She didn't say shit. She makes about as much sense as a fucking barking dog. But Tracy's kids are smart, I guess. So I suppose I had fun, and on the way home I stopped by Drunk Bill's house, because I knew that he was going to be spending Christmas alone, because he has no friends or family, so I knew he was likely just sitting around getting drunk all day. So on the way home, I stopped by there, and I had bought him a Christmas gift. He recently purchased a PS3, so I bought him the game Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. An old game, but I bought it for him because I knew it was the kind of game that he would really like. And speaking to him on the phone, like before I gave it to him, I said, I bought you something for Christmas, I bought you this game. And he says, oh, don't give it to me, because I'm never going to fucking play it. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I brought it back to the store, exchanged it for the Xbox 360 version, and gave it to my nieces instead. So I had no gift for Drunk Bill, but I did have a very nice card. And inside the card, in a rare moment of emotionality, I wrote in the card, despite my inability to ever show emotion towards anyone, never forget how much I really do love you. And I stopped over just to drop off the card, and of course he wanted me to stay. He had just woken up. It was like 7 o'clock at night, but he had just woken up because he was likely, like tanked and fell asleep around noon. So he was waking up around 7 and sober. And I gave him the card and went to go take a pee. And then when I went back in his bedroom where he was reading the card and crying. And I was like, aw. Aw. And he says, I don't have anything for you, but here, take this. And he gives me a blender. And it wasn't wrapped or anything. It was in like a shopping bag. And I fully realized, like thinking about it now, that this was his Secret Santa gift. Somebody had given him a blender at work because he was their Secret Santa, and to them, he's a joke, like a hopeless alcoholic, like like Barney Gumble the drunk. So they bought him a blender so that he can make fruity drinks for himself, I guess. So he insists that I take this, and I say I have no use for a blender. I don't drink mixed drinks. When I do drink, I drink like straight up shots of vodka and follow it with like a chaser of soda or something. I don't make like fruity drinks. But he insisted that I take it and wouldn't let me leave without it. So there you go. That was my Christmas gift. I got a fucking blender. Which still hasn't been used and may never ever be used, but there you go. Actually, no, maybe I should look up online how to make like margaritas and shit like that. So the next time Drunk Bill comes over, we can have fruity drinks or something equally gay like that. Apparently, since I bailed last week, I didn't play this piece of audio that I've been sitting on and waiting to play. I haven't put it on the web, I haven't put it on the site, but a couple weeks ago, Bill's cat of 17 years died. Poor rickety old thing. It was so broke down that it was blind, it was deaf, its hind legs were paralyzed, so it would just basically like drag itself around. Really sad when you saw it. And I actually tried to talk Bill into, doing the humane thing and putting it to sleep. But he never did. But a couple, maybe like a week or two before Christmas, the cat eventually died. Like, he came home. I was over there, let's say I was over there on like a Wednesday night. He comes home from work on Friday, and the cat is dead. So he calls me up, and he's whining, crying, moaning, puking on the phone. And I was sympathetic for about 2 hours. And then it kept going on and on and on and on. And eventually I said, I gotta go. And I hung up the phone. And he kept calling and calling and calling for a total of 24 voicemails. 24. I think that's a new record for him. 24 voicemails. Just calling and talking on the voicemail and screaming and crying and yelling and barfing. In those 24 calls, you can audibly hear him puke twice. So I took all the best bits from those 24 voicemails, and I cut them together into like a 6-minute call, and maybe I'll share that with you later tonight. I think I missed the parts where he vomits, because sometimes there was like a lot of dead air before you can hear him like gurgle and barf in the background. And I think maybe I accidentally deleted the calls because I was like, I gotta get through this. There's 24 calls, next. So I think maybe I missed the calls where he barfs, but there is at least one in there where he barfs like almost mid-sentence. Like he must have been like dangling over the toilet bowl or something with the phone in his hand, crying and moaning, and then blah in the background. So I'll share that with you guys later. Something to look forward to. Well, I guess there's no way I'm going to pass out tonight because there's nothing in the house to drink. Maybe there's some perfume or cologne I could drink. I'm just kidding. Actually, it reminds me of a funny story that my mom used to tell of a time where her brother had become convinced that she had hid his booze in a bottle of perfume, and he actually drank a bottle of her perfume. I was like, okay, well, at least he had decent breath after that, I guess. Probably smelled like a French whore, but I guess there is some kind of alcohol content in perfumes and colognes, I guess. That's what makes it evaporate quick, right? So where was I? Oh, okay, anyway. So Bill's cat dies. And I've never really had that kind of an attachment to a cat. Like, my cat Mouse died, and I was upset about it for a couple of hours, and then you get over it and go on with your life, But he had this cat for like 17 years, and he was so attached to it and didn't want to let the poor fucker die. Spending all kinds of like crazy money on vet bills. I remember there was this one time I was over Bill's house before the cat died, and we're just hanging out and smoking weed, and I leave to go take a leak. I come back into the bedroom, and he has like a needle in his hand, and that like immediately like freaked me out. And I was like, okay, where's my coat? Where's my shoes? Let me get the fuck out of here because I'm not going to sit here and watch you shoot up. But it turns out that the needle was for the cat. The cat had to have like daily steroid injections because he was so old and weak that he had to have like steroids just so I guess his like body would function anymore. But that did freak me out when I saw him like break out a needle. I was like, oh fuck, is he doing heroin now? So Bill is all upset about this dead cat, and he keeps calling me up, and he's blaming me for the cat being dead, because I was over there on a Wednesday, the cat died on a Friday. He said, if I hadn't spent the night, like, hanging out and partying with you, then I would have been able to take care of the cat. And I was like, dude, the cat died 2 days later. And it should have died 2 years ago, for God's sakes. For crying out, cornflakes. So let me see if I can find that audio. I'm not sure how good it is, because I haven't listened to it since I made it, but it might be amusing.
You have 7 saved voice messages. To listen to your messages, press 1. First saved voice message.
Oh, what fun part. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I went through the wires right there. Damn. Why? Why did Willie have to die?
And isn't that weird? His cat's name was Willie, and his name is William. Isn't that weird? That would be sort of like me naming one of my cats Dave. Wouldn't that be weird, like naming a cat after yourself?
Leave on the floor. Because I didn't want him. Anyway, I'm calling you back. I won elections and whatnot. Hey Dave, calling you back on the hardwire.
He would be so pissed if he knew that I was playing this now, but luckily he doesn't pay attention to the show or the website. He always calls and he says he wants ideas. He wants to start up a website, and I said, dude, you could make an entire website just off of your drunken voicemails to me.
The Wire. Let's just call it like Star Trek: The Next Generation. We're gonna get, or even Deep Space Nine. No, Voyager. We're gonna call you again.
End of message. Next message.
Hey, Dave, I just want to say, Dave Karan is unavailable. There's nobody available.
And he always thinks it's going to bother me. Like, he says my real name, like, all the time. Like, he thinks it's going to bother me. My real name is Dave Karan. Big fucking deal. Like, I really give a shit. I remember a time, like, years ago where Dr. Lego went batshit crazy because Carlito said his real name on the air. I'm like, who gives a fuck? What are they going to do with that?
Employee's not here. It's just me. Anyway, thanks a lot for all your help. Good, struggle, hug on. He's like a dumbass Parabelle, or Panda Bear. You're so stupid sometimes.
I don't know what that means. He just called me a dumbass strung out panda bear, whatever that means.
You gotta hug people, love them, and tell them that they're good. Dummy.
Drunk Bill actually tried to call me yesterday. He called at like 2 in the morning, and he woke me up because I had fallen asleep like watching Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore is back, yay! But I had fallen asleep watching Jersey Shore, and he calls, and he hears like the TV going in the background. He says, "Can you turn that off and talk to me for a minute?" So I pause it, and it goes quiet. I was like, okay. And he says, "Fuck it. Why don't you go back to bed?" I was like, okay. Hung up, went back to bed. And he called like another 18 times.
Next message.
My first recorded message is, Dave, it was last weekend. All I ask for the rest of my life is, he takes me out when I call on the phone.
Yeah, I know. Ew, Jersey Shore, but you gotta see it. The first episode of Jersey Shore for the new season, season 3, the very first episode ends in a fist fight brawl between two chicks. So that's a definite must see in my book. Apparently he was watching some kind of game show.
Next message.
I hear some dumb game show in the background.
End of message.
Now, did he hear that? That was difficult to hear because he's got stuff going in the background and it's a shittily recorded voicemail message, but he didn't say anything during that call, but you can hear him go like at the very beginning. That was the first vomit.
Message erased. Next message.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the computer on. Hey, Jeff, you're the best person. He's slowing down, put it up in trucking. You know, the nice thing can't be done. Long time to go, and a long time to get there. Eastbound, just watch out on Banner Run.
See, this is the sort of shit I have to put up with.
Oh, it means John. And the brakes. And no on the brakes. Well, it's gone, man. Who gives a shit? There are no brakes. There's spinning wheels. Anyway.
Sort of reminds me of that 911 call, that famous viral 911 call where the guy calls up and he's telling the 911 dispatcher that the sergeant told him that they would come over and give him a ride to the liquor store.
You gotta put the bit hard on the pedal. Someday, like, good. You got to run the rake.
I don't think he's even being coherent anymore at this point.
Hey, please call me. And tell me I'm just, quite frankly, I'm driving slower than everyone.
I don't know. I think I could probably start like a separate website. Like every time Drunk Bill calls and leaves a message like that, I should just post it on the website. Like I should get like drunkbill.com or something like that, and just like post these audios. He's mid-vomit here.
In the ground.
And now crying.
Worse than the Pet Sematary album. I see. And there it is. He's gone! Any more you than...
That was probably my favorite call out of all of them because he barfs and then keeps on
talking. Message erased. End of messages.
Shit. And that's it. Okay, well, it wasn't as good as I thought it was. It needs too much explanation to be funny. I guess. But there you go. At least you got to hear him vomit and cry about his stupid fucking cat. I was being very loud last night, so 7 o'clock this morning, the cops come knocking on the door, and he says, he's like knocking for like a minute, and I was like hoping they're just going to go away. I turned the sound down, and I was hoping they're going to say, oh, fuck it, he's quiet now, that's all we wanted, and then they're going to leave. But the guy kept knocking and knocking and knocking, so I eventually answered the door, and he says, is there any reason why you're being so loud at 6 in the morning? And I look over at the clock, and I said, it's 7:15. Now, my town has a noise ordinance where you're not allowed to, like, be loud between certain hours. And I didn't know it at the time, but those hours are between 7 in the morning and 10 p.m. That's when you're allowed to be as loud as you want. So they already were, like, busting my balls for nothing. There's nothing they could have done. How you're being so loud at 6 in the morning, I look over, I said, it's 7:15. He says, he started talking again, and I cut him off. I said, you're right, I was being too loud, I'll keep it down, have a good day, and I shut the door in his face. And then they kept knocking and knocking and knocking, and I didn't realize it until this afternoon when I went to go out for cigarettes, but they knocked the screen out of my screen door. They, like, knocked the screen out. Had I been sober and aware, I would have, like, made a big deal about that. Like, what right do you have to, like, come over and, like, knock my screen out? You're over here breaking my shit because I'm being loud at 7 in the morning. What the fuck are people doing trying to sleep at 7 in the morning? Don't they have fucking jobs? I don't have a job in the world. Anyway, you listen to Missy.
Hello? What's the matter, Missy? I'm drunk. You better, no more drinking. Well, honest to God, you can't believe what you're sounding like.
I have a penis.
You go to sleep.
I'm gonna drink all night.
No, don't drink anymore, please. No more, please. Don't. Just go to sleep. What's the matter with you?
And Saigon is requesting one of the many calls I did where I claimed to have fallen and need an ambulance, and I got this woman so scared for me. I was afraid she was going to, actually call the cops and try to figure out where the hell I was. I played that call on the air once, and I won't play it again because it was a very nasty, evil call. Actually, it ended well because I did finally calm her down, and she even asked if she can come visit me because I'm old and I'm lonely and my hips don't work.
I'm gonna drink all night. I'm gonna drink all night.
Why?
Because it's great.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe you're talking like this.
Oh, it's the best time of my life.
Oh, Jesus. What are you on?
Everything.
What?
Everything.
You're going to kill yourself.
Oh, my penis.
Oh, don't talk like this to me.
Do you want to touch my penis?
Oh, Missy, go to sleep.
No. You go to sleep. You don't. I have a penis.
Oh, God. Go to sleep.
No.
Yes.
Hello?
Please, Missy, go to bed and don't do
That's
this.
what I did tonight.
Huh?
I met all these guys, and they gave me marijuana, and I
can't understand.
all of them. I fucked them.
What?
I fucked them.
Oh, go to sleep.
No, their penises were in me, and it was good.
Oh, Jesus. Missy, what's the matter with you? Do you want to call an ambulance?
No. I want to get fucked some more.
Go to sleep.
I want to fuck. I want to fuck.
Please go to sleep.
No.
Please.
No.
Don't do this to me.
But I love it.
No, you don't love it. You're sick.
I want to fuck.
You're sick, Missy.
Teach me how to fuck.
God almighty, I can't believe you're doing this. Go to sleep, please.
Thank you for calling Circus Hotel and Casino, the best value in Las Vegas. For a room reservations representative, please press 1 now. To be connected to a guest room, please press 2 now. To speak to Human Resources Department, please press 3 now. For all other calls I'll transfer you now.
Question flared or indulge your...
This is Carolina. May I help you?
Hello, how are you doing, dear? My name is Joe Rosenthal. I'm looking for my husband. He's staying there on business. His name is Edgar.
What's the last name, Edgar?
No, his first name is Edgar. Last name is Rosenthal. He called me from there earlier tonight, but I had the phone turned off. I didn't get the call.
And how do you spell the last name? R-O-S?
E-N-T-H-A-L.
I'm not getting it, ma'am. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm not
I believe he said it was room 15 or 115, something like that.
Hold on.
Just put me through, dear.
I'm hungry. Leave full. Ma'am, could the reservations be under somebody else's name?
I knew it. I bet you he checked in under a fake name because I know that bastard is there cheating on me.
No, I'm just saying there's a big convention in town because, there's a huge convention in town.
Yeah, he said he was going to the convention and he called me from there earlier. And
right,
he
and
didn't
sometimes
give me
they
the room
register them with different names or groups or whatever.
No, he would have done it under his own name unless he's trying to hide from me, that bastard.
One moment, please. Hold on.
Wait.
Let me make you fantastic.
Maybe you know who I mean if I describe him.
No, hold on one moment, please. Go ahead, please.
I was on hold.
Hi, how may I help you?
I was on hold with someone who was trying to track down where my low-down scoundrel of a husband is staying there.
Your low down... Honey, what's his name?
His name is Edgar, but the lady already told me that there's no Edgar registered there, but he called me from there earlier today.
He called you and it says Circus Circus on your call ID?
Yes, it did.
Really?
Yeah.
And so if he's here, he's not here under his name.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, because...
So we have no way of locating him if his name's not on the room.
Maybe if I describe him, you know who I mean. Maybe you see him around.
Girl, we got 4,000 rooms. You can't describe him because I'm in the back on the phones.
Well,
you know what I mean? But what we can do, listen, I give you back to the operator. She can page him throughout the casino. And he's not going to know who's on the other end. He's going to say, Edgar, you have a call. Please pick up the house phone. And he go pick it up.
He's out there cheating on me. He's not going to pick up the phone, that son of a bitch.
Oh, my God. Where are you calling from, honey?
We live in Connecticut. He went out there for some kind of convention, he said.
There's a big convention here, CES. You live in Connecticut? There is a huge convention here.
He's there for the Consumer Electronics Show.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. But
what makes you think he's cheating, though? Why you say he's cheating?
Well, why else is he going to register under a false name?
No. Maybe he's staying in the... You know, these rooms are $230. So maybe he's in a room with another person, and they're just sharing it, and his name's not on the room.
No, trust me, he can afford his own room.
He can afford his own room.
Yes,
okay.
He can.
Wow. Did he get a cell phone? He ain't picking that up either?
No, he left that here, son of a...
He left the cell phone at home?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he didn't want to be reached then. That's wrong.
That's what I'm saying. He's off there. Oh.
When does he do back?
He's supposed to be back next Monday, so he's got a whole weekend to party, I guess.
Oh, wow. But you know what? Did he call and say, I made it here safely? Have you talked to him since he left home?
He tried to call, but I was asleep, and I didn't get the call. But it said on the caller ID, the Circus.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
I
you know what?
He's there,
right.
Low down. You know, I have a frying pan waiting for him when he gets his...
Girl, don't hit him with the frying pan. Don't hit him with the frying pan. Look, when he come in, just talk to him. I'm sure, you know what, he gonna call you before he get home. And then he'll explain to you that I was rooming with so-and-so and, you know, my name wasn't on the room and, you know, I don't know. But don't. Just wait and see what happens first before you jump to conclusions.
This is Las Vegas, right?
Yes, Las Vegas.
Where prostitution is legal, so he's got
Girl, prostitution ain't legal. No, don't go there. For real.
He's got a room full of whores.
No, he don't have a room full of whores. Come on, this Circus is a family-friendly hotel. No, it's not happening here. I think just don't jump to any conclusions, and he's going to call you back.
Well, you better.
All right, so you have a good night, okay?
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That didn't go where I wanted it to go, but it still amused me. I thought that was funny. Don't you go there. She is interested now. She loves it. It's like a talk show. She's all up in Joe's business. You know, it's been a long time since I did Jill, too, so there you go. That's the first time I did Jill in a long time.
Cobra, this is Robin.
Hey.
Hi, how may I help you?
I'm calling for my boyfriend. He's supposed to be down there tonight. His name is Maurice.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
His name is Maurice.
Marie? No. I know everybody here. I don't have a Marie.
No, Maurice.
Maurice. There's no... Oh, wait a minute. He's Bear's friend. Hold on. Sorry, honey. Maybe he's on the patio and didn't come in. Hold on. Let me go look.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. He's not here. Is he due here soon?
Well, he's supposed to be there, but his drag name is Loretta.
Loretta. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's still early. It's happy hour. So, like I said, I know all the guys. I even came out on the patio, and it's like she is not here. Maurice nor Loretta is here.
There's nobody there in
drag? Is he working here?
What?
Is she working? Is she working here tonight?
Well, he better not be.
No, she just, okay. You know, if someone comes in that I don't know, I'll be glad to have Maurice, and just say that you call and have him call you. Would that work?
Listen, the reason why I'm calling is we recently
I'm sorry.
broke up
Here,
and he
speak
stole
up
a
a little.
bunch
I'm
of my
having
stuff.
trouble. Whoa. I heard nothing of that because it's loud here. What was your last thing you said?
What?
What?
My last name is
Hello?
Rosenthal. We recently
Are you
broke
still
up.
there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, now what is it you... Okay, he's not here, so what would you like me to do if I see someone that might be him?
Well, if he does come in there,
Tell him to call you?
I don't know. Yeah, tell him to call me. Because we recently broke up, and when he left, he stole a bunch of my shit. And if he doesn't give it back, I'm going to call the authorities.
Oh, well, that's a good... He may not call you. I can tell. I'll certainly pass the message on, but,
Well, if you see him, tell him that he's going to get arrested if he doesn't bring me back my clutch purse. And my other things that he took.
Okay, and this is Marie/Loretta.
Yes.
Okay, like I said, if somebody comes in and I don't know them, I'll ask their name and pass on the information, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right.
What are the odds that there would be a Maurice at a gay bar? Apparently, I always chose that as my, standby gay name, but apparently that gay bar has a Maurice that frequents the place. Is Maurice here? His drag name is Loretta.
Donna.
Hello?
Johnny's Donna.
Is this the fat guy there?
Nah. What fat guy?
I don't know. My wife was down there earlier today. She said some fat guy was rude to her.
Oh, yeah? He worked here?
Yes. The fat guy who works there. How many fat people do you have working there? He was there around 7 o'clock earlier tonight.
Tonight at 7 o'clock?
My wife
Hold on.
complained because her coffee was cold, and he walked away muttering under his breath, calling her a stupid old bitch.
All right, hold on. I got you. Hold on real quick. I'm going to see. Hold on. Hello?
Hello, is this the fat guy?
No. I guess the fat guy went home, but his name's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
But there will be a lady here. There will be a manager here tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I don't need
There's
to
no
speak to a
managers
manager.
here now.
I want to talk to Fat Jeff.
Oh, yeah, he went home for the day.
Well, okay, when does he work next? Is he going to be there tomorrow?
Hold on. Let me look for you.
I'll stop in and give him a piece of my mind.
That's fine. Hold on. Well, he's not even really fat. I'm just trying to think. Was he a waiter or what?
She was so upset. All she said is the fat guy.
Oh, it was a guy or a girl?
A guy.
Oh, yeah, he works tomorrow 2 o'clock to 10. 2 to 10.
Okay, I'll stop in there tomorrow, and I'll give him a piece of my mind.
All right.
Is Bubbles there?
Nah, she's not working tonight.
Oh, okay.
All right, my man.
Thank you for your help.
Yes, sir.
That took me a little off guard. I didn't expect him to actually have a Bubbles there. Ryan, I thought that was a joke, but he actually knows someone named Bubbles who works there. Okay. I thought it was like a Trailer Park Boys reference or something. I'm laughing. I'm reading your names here. I'm laughing.
Hello?
Hello, Dixie?
Huh?
Yeah, this is Jessica. And Jessica.
Uh-huh.
And we were supposed to meet at the hotel, and I was supposed to give you the Titty Twister package for $799. You remember when we talked?
Huh?
Remember when we talked?
You must have a wrong number.
No, I don't. You gave me this number. I gave you my card at the bar, and you called me, and you said that you wanted a Titty Twister.
Okay, nobody is sending in any numbers, so I'm just going to treat you to some of my personal favorite prank calls. A lot of them so rare that nobody else has them but me. Like this one.
Package.
Not me. I don't go to bars.
Which includes 2 anal probes.
Yeah, no, we'll need to end this conversation.
Let me read off.
Thank you very much.
Bitch.
He didn't want to hear anything about the anal probes. He was alright with the titty twister, but as soon as he got to the anal probes, he didn't want any more of it.
Okay. Now, here's a blast from the past. This comes from a prank caller who went by the name of Pyolite, and I haven't heard or played this call in many, many years. And his premise is simple. He's calling up people to tell them He's calling up people to tell them that he's been trapped in their attic for days.
Hello?
Hello, I am trapped in your attic. Can you come and let me out?
Sorry?
I am trapped in your attic. And I need help.
Who's calling, please?
Roy.
I'm crying over here. This call is just so beyond retarded. I love it. Deliciously retarded.
Roy Root.
Sorry?
Roy Root. And I be trapped in your attic. Can you come and let me out?
Next call I do, I'm going to claim that I'm trapped in their attic. I've been up here for days, and I'm starving.
I've been here for a whole week, and I'm starving to death.
Who's calling, please?
Roy.
Roy who?
Root.
Sorry.
So you won't let me out the attic then?
Who's calling?
Roy. I'm done trapped in your attic.
Ignore the sound of me blowing my nose there.
So you're not going to let me out then, are you? Because I've been here for months and months, starving. So, Roy, you know, we're going out on a date. It's 7 p.m. tonight.
Sorry, have you got the wrong number?
No, I have the right number.
Who do you want to speak to?
Amy?
No, sorry, you've got the wrong number.
Well, I saw you in the nightclub 2 days ago, and that's the name and number you gave me.
No, sorry, you've got the wrong number.
Well, you were drunk at the time, so you perhaps don't remember.
My husband might have remembered.
Well, why didn't you go and ask him then? But was he out in the club with you?
I haven't been out to a club.
Well, that's probably why, because you were drinking a lot and you perhaps suffered a bit of memory loss, because alcohol can do that.
If I'd been out, maybe, but I haven't been out.
Mm-hmm. So, is it your birthday?
No.
Your husband's birthday?
No.
Anybody's birthday?
No, and I haven't been out all week.
Oh, okay. Have a nice day then.
Sorry.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I needed that. I haven't laughed that good in a long time. For some reason, I just got a wild hair up my ass and I wanted to hear that call. And now I know why. Because it made me laugh like a giddy schoolgirl. Saigon says me a number for Kwang Chink. Oh, come on. I would call, but every time I call them, they just hang up. I never get anything out of them. That was one of the numbers that Keith would call every week. And he was able to get shit out of them, but every time I call, I can't get anything out of them.
Hello?
I'm trapped in your attic.
Huh?
I've been here for months and months, and I'm starving to death.
Okay.
Can you come up and let me out?
Huh?
Can you come up and let me out?
Okay.
I'll knock on the ceiling so you know where I am.
Okay.
Can you hear that? Can you come up and let me out? Hello? This is Roy Root.
Okay, I knew that wasn't going to go anywhere. I don't think she understood a word I was saying. Because their name is Kwang Chink, so, yeah. I laughed so hard during that pilot call that my eyes were watering and my nose was running. You probably heard me blow my nose during that. Yeah. You ever laugh so hard for so long that your face hurts? Yeah.
I'll give you some cellophane.
Hello? Yes. Do you know anything about the kettle I left on the porch? I was cleaning the rust off it, and I put it out there to dry, and then it was missing. And I think that I know how you look. I saw how you looked at my kettle when you visited last time.
I think you have the totally wrong number. You're calling the senior mobile home park.
You saw it on my porch across the street, and you came over, and I think when I was cleaning it, I put it out to dry, and I think you're the one who has...
talking about.
I saw how you looked at it.
Okay, wait. What street are you talking about first?
My beautiful kettle. I had
What street are you talking about?
I had a really nice kettle, but
Well,
it had
tell me
rust
the
on it.
street you are on.
I'm sorry. Well, let me just finish telling you what I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm not interested. I want to get my facts straight. What street are you talking about?
I'm talking about your street. I'm talking about
your
the street
street?
you live on.
What? What's the name of the street?
It's Parkview.
Well, you're way off. Believe me, you have gotten a 70-year-old lady in your mobile home
You're
park.
very off taking my kettle. That was my favorite kettle.
Oh, I love that one. The woman is so baffled and confused. I love that. Kettle.
Hello?
Hello? Could I speak to Huberty?
Who?
Huberty?
Hubert? Just a minute.
Huberty?
Okay, and Nunu is reminding me that the country code for the UK is 44. There you go. Don't know how I could have forgotten that. I must be getting old.
Hello?
Huberty?
Hubert?
Yeah?
Uriel?
You had the poo on my porch.
Is that really Uriel? Uriel is back after all these years? Oh, it must be. I doubt there's very many people out there named Uriel.
Had what?
You had the poo on my porch.
I don't understand. What is your name?
You Audrey Flett.
Beg pardon?
You had the poo on my porch.
Who?
Poo. You took late last night. You come out, and you came across the street. You had the poo on my porch.
No, not me.
I have pictures to prove of you having a poo.
Well, bring the pictures over.
Well, not till you come and clean off the poo.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's really... You must have been drunk or something. Huberty?
Hello?
Hello, could I speak to Hubert, please?
Well, you just spoke to him.
And he hung up on me.
Well, what did you want from him?
Well, I have to ask him why he did what he did last night at 2 a.m.
My husband is an old man, and he wasn't in your yard at 2 a.m.
Well, he went through the garden.
Where'd you live?
He stepped on the hazeldale. He stepped on the flowers. And then he comes up to my porch. He ruined my blossoms. And
what is your number?
On my front porch.
He ruined my blossoms.
Listen. Then he had a poo.
My husband is not well, and he doesn't hardly get out of the house. He is 84 years old.
Somebody had a poo on my porch.
Well, nobody come here.
Well, who would have a poo on my porch? Was it you?
Well, I've got 2 bathrooms in the house.
Well, were they occupied at 2 a.m.?
2 a.m. I was sound asleep.
Why would you have a poo on my porch?
What's your house number?
You know my house number. You were on my porch and in my garden.
Well, you just phone the police then and tell them to come and look at it and tell them to come here.
You know that they have DNA and they can prove whose poo it is.
Well, that's fine.
And
Tell
they
them to
will
come here and prove.
Testing the poo.
Yeah.
And they will test the poo.
Yeah.
And find out whose poo it is. It's not cat poo, it's human poo.
Yeah, well, you tell them to come here and test my poo. I'll let them test
Well,
my poo.
they'll make you poo in a bottle. Or
Well,
something.
that's okay. I can
But
do that.
You probably will cheat or something.
Well, how can I cheat? If I crap in the thing, they'll test it.
Well, if you poo in it before they come and give it to them.
No, they can bring a bottle and I'll poo right in front of them.
Will you?
Yeah, sure I
Okay,
will.
great. Because I will get this to happen.
Well, why, how do you know it was me?
Well, I woke up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah?
And somebody took poo on my porch and then run across the street.
Well,
now
come on
either
over here
he
and have a look at us and you can see if it's us, if it's us.
Will you poo in the bottle for me?
Well, sure, I can poo on your front porch if you want me to.
Well, no, I don't want you doing that again. You already did it once. I don't want...
Look at, what's your name?
Audrey.
Audrey what?
Fitzmaurice.
Fitzmaurice. And you live on Hazeldale?
Yes, and now what? Why are you asking me the questions? You are the one who's in trouble.
Because, well, that's all right. You phone the police and tell them to come right here.
This is ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous.
Pooping for the police.
Yeah, well, you just phone the police and tell them to come here. And
Maybe I'll come out and have a poo on your porch.
Yeah, sure, come
and
on.
I'll wipe my bum all over your porch and make it all brown.
Yeah, that's all right. You come on over.
Have a poo in your mailbox, and poo in your mail.
Yeah, well, that's
poo on your old age pension checks, like mine.
Yeah.
My pension check has poo on it.
Well, the pension checks don't come till Monday.
Well, I already got mine on Friday.
Oh, well, you're
But I was away on holidays, and I've come back, and now
well,
poo all over it.
Yeah, well, just come
I can't take a check to the bank with poo in it.
Well, then what can I do about it?
Well, maybe you just come over here right now.
Well,
I
what's your
will
address?
bring a bottle, and you have a poo.
What's your
in
address?
It, and I will take it to the police.
Yeah, what's your address?
You know my address. You were there last night. You know
No,
exactly
I don't
what the
know.
place
I was in bed last night at 2 o'clock.
It's across the street, the house with the poo on the porch.
I was in bed last night at 2 o'clock. Tell me your address and I'll come and have a look and see if that's the house I pooed on.
Well, you know which house you pooed on. It looks pretty much the same. Night or day.
Give me the address and I'll come over and see if that's the house that I pooed on. Oh, I'm retarded. Well, nobody's sending me any numbers, so I guess maybe I wrap it up here. Well, it was fun hanging out. I'm glad you guys showed up, especially given my history for not showing up or being so fucked up drunk that I'm incapable of doing a show, but you guys still keep coming, so I thank you for that. And I look forward to doing it again next week. I'll make sure I'm sober again next Saturday so that I can come here and enjoy some time with you fine folks. Thank you for tuning in. I guess I'm gonna go lay down. I don't know, watch a movie or something. Oh, I did see a good movie the other day. I wanted to tell you guys about a movie. It's called The Last Lovecraft, The Relic of Cthulhu. And I highly recommend it. It's a comedy horror film. It's sort of like if the people who did Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, if they did like a movie based on H.P. Lovecraft mythology. It's very funny. I got a kick out of it anyway. So there you go. And with that, let me say goodnight. Yeah, I'll be back next week, next Saturday. Until then, stay just the way you are, just the way we like you. Stay beautiful.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
No! Why?
She chose the piano over her insulin. You could have had both.
See, that wasn't so bad.
Did you find a headset, Uriel? You want to call in?